I got a problem with shitting on someone's head.
Yeah, shitting, peeing
I
is
can't
totally
see the
different.
positive in that.
Cash Daddies is for entertainment purposes only. You'd be an idiot to listen to anything these degenerates say. Invest at your own risk, do research, but seriously don't listen to these ass clowns. Now enjoy Cash Daddies.
All right, welcome to Cash Daddies. We're banking fatties. Sorry, last week was a little crazy. Then there's some other stuff happen, and it's chaos, pure chaos. Anyways, how are you guys? Joining me as always, Howie, Dewey, and Johnny Woodard. Yes.
Hey, buddy.
What's
Hey,
up?
how are you guys? What's the
Living
word?
baby.
What's going on, boys?
Hanging in there, man.
A lot of great energy on the show right now. A lot of great. I like. What do we? Is this at gunpoint? Like, what are we doing right now? How are you guys?
I don't feel too well right now. If I'm being honest, that's what it is. I'm gonna have to take a huge dump here shortly. So if you must know,
Okay, thank you.
you asked like 3 times, so I'm
Hey,
giving
thank you for your honesty.
the real truth here.
Thank you for your honesty.
So if you see me slip off, that's what's happening.
Okay, so Howie, what's new, dude?
We just got back from Miami.
What were you doing in Miami?
Now in beautiful New York. No idea why I left. Should just stay down there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how you're still in New York. It just you can be a Yankees and Knicks fan from wherever the fuck you want.
No, Miami was I went down there, hung out with Giants 6-string quarterback Tommy DeVito for a few days.
Do you think he'll be back next year?
Yes. I think he'll be the number one backup. And I think if Daniel Jones doesn't produce, he might see some run. Kid works hard. I'll give him that. He works hard. He's down there just working out. Quarterback's coach for 2 months. He works hard.
So a couple things. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking, guys. Thank you. That's great. Thank you for asking. I feel good, dude. I feel good. So I'm in Illinois right now. I'm doing the Comedy Vault. I'm very excited about it. It's a great club. It's just a fun club. And so I was running because I've been to Best Buy. I've been just buying stuff left and right. Apparently none of it works. But that's okay. So I was the owner, Liz, was driving me to Best Buy, and she's telling me that she uses an AI bot to buy and sell her crypto. And she's gone from like $300 or $500 to $3,000.
Interesting.
Well, with that being said, crypto did have a big upswing over the past 30 days.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have thrown a dart. Our boy Zoltan crushed it buying what was he buying, man? Chainlink.
No, really?
So, yeah. So Zoltan, pretty much if you threw a dart the past 30 days, that shit just went through the roof following Bitcoin.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So,
but it's leveled up.
Yeah. But what you really want to do is follow our boy over there, Copy My Crypto. He's doing the best. James McMahon. He's crushing it. He's on fire. He's a fire starter. Always. Yeah, so that's about it, man. I found that interesting. I found it very interesting. Just getting ready for Civil War, World War III, right? I mean, that's basically what we're about to have. We're about to have Civil War III, okay? Civil War III.
Civil War II, right?
Civil World War III. That's what we're about to have.
It's just a mashup.
Which states are going to be involved?
Right now, 35 states are backing up Texas. Or 25.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's 35.
How can we make money on this, Howie? How can we make money off a Civil War, World War III?
No, it's 25 now.
Okay.
I think you buy utilities, man. Hopefully some of these utilities get crushed. You know, the electric grid and all that stuff. If they get smacked, we got to rebuild. Those utilities could come into play. That could be the move. That could be the move. I mean, keep buying oil and gas. If you look at the 2024 portfolio, XLE and OIH, they're cranking again. I mean, they've done well. So, you know, maybe they blow up some Texas oil refineries. Who knows? I don't know what they do in the Civil War nowadays.
Respect on that. Respect on that.
I don't know. That's that'll be wild. That's weird because I was in Florida. I didn't hear anything what was going on down there. I don't think people in Florida follow any news. I think they go to the beach.
Well, their governor has decided to be a part of. They're actually, some states are sending National Guards down there.
You know what?
Crazy.
I'm going to tell you. You know, you look at DeSantis, and one thing he really ought to do before he does anything is maybe, why don't you fix that Miami airport up so it's somewhere in the late 1900s at least? Because I don't care what airport you go to in the U.S. That Miami has the shittiest airport. We're waiting for a plane down there, and you know what they have down there? They have what's called the Bud Light room. I mean, you can't make this up. Not the Delta room, not the Sky, the Bud Light room. And here's what you get in the Bud Light room. You get some French fries that are 10 years old. Sorry, no ketchup, sir. No ketchup. It's out of my hands. No ketchup. I've never been.
What, an old Italian man serve you French fries? No ketchup. No ketchup.
Well, I think
no
he was
ketchup.
I think he was
No
half
can
Cuban,
do.
half Italian. But I just that airport hasn't. There's no. You have to walk half a mile. There's no way to get there. It's insane. It's like, how is that airport not up to, like, what are they doing with their money?
I have no clue. I went to Dulles Airport. You could not be in a more bland airport than the Dulles Airport that up to like a week ago was celebrating Christmas still.
Hey, you go to Newark. Newark's beautiful. They got restaurants. They got everything there. Newark, New Jersey has a beautiful airport. LaGuardia fixed it all up. It's
Dallas has one of the best. Houston has one of the best.
Yeah. I mean,
LAX is getting there. It's getting way better. I also don't like airports where I have to do every mode of transportation, where it's like I got to walk and I got to take a bus and I got to take a train to get on a plane. That's my problem. Okay, I'm not here for Greyhound.
Miami has just some backwoods ass, and it's, you know, it's like, come on, man, it's Miami. You got 75% of the airports people from New York down there visiting. It's like, how is that airport that shitty? Like, fix it up. I mean, fix up your football stadium. You got some. They really haven't done a lot with that state, probably outside of Disney World. I don't know. It's pretty ass backwards, but who knows?
Hey, so what's going on at the markets?
Dude, look. You know, we got an inflation gauge today. You know, inflation is definitely slowly dropping. The GDP yesterday was 3.3%, much higher than expected. Listen, the economy, it's healthy. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. We never had a hard landing, a soft landing. That was all. People were wrong. These experts were way off base. You can say what you want about the Fed, but whatever they did with raising interest rates, it did the job. And we're not seeing the correction that we thought we would. You know, I'm holding some SQQQ. I'm holding some UVIX. I'm waiting for any sell-off to unload those things, because what we're seeing, Sam, we're seeing higher highs and higher lows. And, you know, even though we got a zillion-dollar deficit here, I think 2024 we'll see a little bit of slowdown in growth, but the markets are going to be good, man. Probably for the next couple of years. There's going to be a lot of money to be made. I think we're bank a lot of fatties.
I think it's going to get very interesting coming up here. We've had some really bad presidents lately, but I mean, it's like I've never seen anything like this before, ever. I mean, on all fronts.
Yeah, you got to remember.
That has to affect markets, dude.
Nah, never has, never will. Nobody gives a shit. You got an election coming up, and the market for 3 months. For 3 months, the markets have done nothing but gone straight up. The Dow Jones.
I don't get it. How is this
Dow Jones has
possible?
gone from 32,000 to 38,000 over the last 3 months. The Nasdaq has gone from 12,500 to 15,000, 3,000 points in 3 months. And no one cares about the elections. No one, look, here's what we know. Trump was in office. No wall got built. He spent more money than any president in the history of presidents.
Interesting.
Now you got a new guy in. I mean, I don't think he can talk. Nobody listens to him. You can't understand a word he's saying. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. The market doesn't give a shit. Still up through the roof. So
Crazy,
you heard me say it
dude.
1,000 times on this show, and you can look back the past 100 years. Market doesn't care the president. The president doesn't have a lot of pull, man. Really doesn't. Doesn't make the law.
That's crazy to me, but I believe you. I mean, it's why I like to hear both sides. Because, you always hear like Stephen King, this is the greatest economy ever. And everyone's like, please shut up.
Yeah.
But then it goes, and then I'm going to throw this to Johnny. Do you think there's a difference between Wall Street doing well and Main Street doing well?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, usually their interests are aligned, usually, but yeah, for sure, 100%. I mean, there have been plenty of times in the past, especially right before it's about to get really bad. When people are already facing unemployment, that Wall Street, is still kind of raking in the last profits before the collapse. Yeah, I mean, we've seen that cycle a few times.
Unemployment has gone up, which is what we wanted, because
What?
Yeah, man. I mean, there was like zero damn unemployment 6 months ago. There was none, and job wages were going through the roof. So we are seeing a little bit higher unemployment.
Hold on. What do you mean when you say you want unemployment?
Because if you have a little bit of unemployment, a little bit, all right, that means that the economy is not on fire. I mean, it's not. You don't want a just runaway economy where things are just going through the roof, people are spending, prices are going up. You don't want that. You want it nice and level. You want a few people out of work. You want a few people work. Yeah,
that's a weird. I don't understand that, but financially, I guess I don't get that.
Look, it's kind of like, if you're in a classroom, you don't want 90% of the class as geniuses. You want 3 or 4 smart kids. You want 15 kids like yourself, and you want 7 to 8, extremely slow people. You want that diversity.
I do not, but okay.
You got to have some kids you can make fun of, man, or else the day goes by too slow. That's just the law of equality. So that's where we are right now, man.
What have you been looking into this week?
I mean, look, we'll start right. There's some wild shit going on. But so Boeing, Hots and I fly into Miami last Thursday. I'm pumped to go in Miami. It's like 10 in the morning. And all of a sudden, we're sitting in the airport and our flight just gets canceled out of nowhere. No reason, nothing. Flight's canceled. We can't get another plane. So what we got to do, we got to get in a car, drive 2 hours to JFK from Newark, get in another plane. We get into Miami late. But we going to Miami. We're landing. And the pilot takes right back up, goes right up in the air. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? We keep flying around and around and around. Because there was another plane on fire.
Wow.
There was another plane. There was a plane on fire. Flying around on fire. and they had to land it. It was a cargo plane over Miami last Thursday night, and the thing almost blew up. They got it on the ground
Wow.
quickly. But yeah, it caught on fire.
That's
So
crazy.
these are these 737s, and the very next day, some guy finds one with the bolts loose on it. So, this is hitting Boeing left and right. And, myself and the Patreons, we've been looking at Boeing for a while because it was at 270 a month ago, and now it's at 204. And at
Oh
some
yeah,
point,
it took a giant shit, right? With all
Yes.
this bad news.
and at some point here, you're going to see a dead cat bounce. We got to buy some calls on that thing, because it took
That's
a beautiful
interesting.
nosedive. So, he's sticking with the airlines. We were talking about this last week. Johnny was talking about it that JetBlue was going to buy out Spirit. And we talked about it, and the government said no go. So Spirit Airlines went from like 15 down to 6.
Oof.
And then I think Dave Portnoy and some guys came out and said, nah, the merger's still going through. And they pumped it back up to like 9.
Wait, what does Dave Portnoy have to do with airlines? Is that he just knew something?
I think he literally tried to take Spirit and make it into the next meme stock.
Oh, really?
He
Interesting.
started tweeting how he bought a shitload at 650, 7, and it did pump back up to 9.
Huh.
Of course, it's back down to 650 today because I don't think that merger's going through.
I didn't know
and
that.
if it doesn't, Spirit's probably going bankrupt. So the airlines have been wild. They've been crazy. Then you go to the ground. You got a lot of people right now really shitting on Elon Musk. You want to talk about a stock that just died quickly. You look at Tesla. Tesla 3 months ago was trading at $2.61. It's at 182 right now.
Oof.
I mean, it's just everything this guy's doing lately, it's just bad.
Yeah.
Tesla's just taking a beating. So with that being said, we're looking to buy it at some point because, what do we always say on this show? Elon's going to come out and say something crazy. He's going to come out and say, I have a car that gets from New York to LA in 6 hours. He'll say something like that. So it's trading at 182, and I'm telling you, it breaks 180, we may have to buy it. But Jesus, he's getting shit. A lot of CEOs are coming out and they're saying he's nuts. He's lost it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Guys, you guys know that the crypto market is in fuego. So listen, we've seen so many people making ridiculous money from crypto. But did you know it's as easy for you to do the same? The Copy My Crypto membership site shows you the coins that YouTuber James McMahon personally holds and allows you to copy him. It's like having a big brother who knows what he's doing. You don't need to know a thing about crypto or how to invest. You simply do what he does. Here, let me tell you more about James. He runs Crypto with James YouTube channel, which despite heavy censorship, has over 26,000 subscribers. Since March 2020, he's told his viewers to buy 26 crypto coins. Had you put $100 into each one, it would be well worth over $123,000.
Wow.
Come on, okay? Of the 26 coins, his top pick of the year, a coin called Phantom, went up 692 times from when he said. That one call alone has retired a number of people, including guys in their 20s and 30s. Remember, this is public knowledge. You can go to YouTube and verify for yourself. So if you'd like to join the 2,800 members who copy James, then stop what you're doing and head over to copymycrypto.com/Sam. That's copymycrypto.com/Sam. That's SAM. You'll not only find proof of everything I've said, but my listeners get full access for just $1, okay? Once again, that's copymycrypto.com/Sam. The recession is here, guys. You could suffer like everyone else or choose to thrive. James is the real deal. Go visit his site now.
It's funny. There's a lot of There's a lot of negative
Yeah.
press around EVs altogether right now. Like you
Yeah.
had Tesla announce 200,000 vehicles being recalled over a rear view camera issue. Their whole camera system has problems. Then there was a story about this GM had bought this company called Robo Taxi. I think it's called Cruise Robo Taxi. And it hit a woman that had already been hit and kind of dragged her on the road. So there's a big inquiry into that. Which, I mean, the thing is, though, if a person did that, there'd be no huge inquiry. It'd be like, oh, that person, what a weird thing that happened. The person got knocked in the front of his car. But because it's a robo taxi, it's a huge deal. And then you hear about Apple's EV, which one thing we know about Apple, they never get into a market unless they know the time is right. And they've delayed their EV even farther back now. So I just a lot of negative signs around electric vehicles and especially self-driving.
And the other thing that's killing Elon right now is they basically have the exact same cars in China for half the price.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. I really don't. This is basically just a car company. So I do expect this thing to continue to drop. And then you look at China. China is taking a beating. And I'm starting to look at KWEB for the 2004 portfolio because it's down from 36 to 24 over the past 3 to 6 months. This is China's whole economy. And I don't know if you read, but China's basically pulling the United States and just injecting a bunch of money into the market.
Into our market?
No, into China's. China's government's basically, what is it, the Wong? They're just right now, they're printing a lot of Wongs in China. all these little Chinese people are just getting tons of Wongs in their mailboxes to go out and spend money. So they're injecting money in the economy over there. And so I think things are going to turn around in China. And if, instead of just buying an Alibaba, you can buy KWEB, where you have 10 of the top biggest companies in China. And it's at a value right now. It's at a 5-year low, 24.50. But I just, I don't think China's going anywhere. They're going to be around. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, it's hard to get rid of.
There's a lot of Chinese people for sure.
Yeah. But to get back to Spirit Airlines, we had a question. Somebody said, do you think Spirit Airlines is a meme stock? And I think they're trying to make it one. But I personally don't like investing in any airlines. They all go bankrupt at some point. I mean, Sam's not kidding when he says, I'm starting to think they don't want you to fly. Because
dude, that is going to be my legacy, is that everyone will be, Sam Tripoli called this first. They don't want you flying.
Yep.
And I'm starting to see it, dude, on these airlines. Dude, like I was going to talk to on Broken Sim, but so the airlines are ran so shitty now that some of my plane people were packed in rows, and then other rows, people were just, there's no one sitting by them, and they were sleeping in the whole row. They are just doing whatever they can to make every moment of your experience awful, because they know when they want it back, they'll get bailed out, clean up all the red, and then they'll go back to normal. It's like crazy to me. It's crazy to me.
So last Thursday, we finally got to JFK, got another plane. And, the plane's going from New York to Miami. So I'm going to say 90% of the people on the plane were Hasidic Jews. It looked like a plane full of Abe Lincolns. It's bizarre, So I get on the plane, and I'll also tell you, I don't know if it was a stomach flu or food poisoning, but right before I got on the plane, it's the sickest I've ever been in my life. I started pouring sweat. I can't even see. I'm laying in my seat. And it's one of those huge planes where, they have a bathroom at the 23rd. It rows 23, 24. They got one in the back, one in the front. And at some point I used the bathroom and I came out and I saw 4 Hasidic Jews, at least over the age of 80, just absolutely gagging. Like I thought they were gonna die, man.
Oh
And
dear.
I felt bad for him, but we got on a plane like Sam's talking about. This kid, he's probably 15 years old, and I notice he's got something wrong with him. He's just off. You know, his eyes are a little farther apart, and he's like twitching. He's moving his fingers.
Yeah.
It's like autistic, you know, R-worded a little bit.
Okay.
So you know, and he's watching some cheerleading movie, and he's hitting stop when he sees an ass, and he's looking around just to see if anybody sees him. He took off his yarmulke and he put on a Supreme hat, which I thought was hilarious because his father called him and he pulled out his flip phone and he's like, "Yeah, Dad, I'm wearing it. I have it on." And he's like looking around. Long story short, Hots is sitting right behind him. She's next to me, and I don't feel good. I'm about to die. So we're about to land, and the lady says, "Move your seats to an upright position." And this kid's sleeping, and his seat's back, like right on Hots. So the
I
lady's,
hate that.
"Excuse me." All of a sudden, I look at Hots, and she goes, "This kid's head flew up. He
Oh my!
bounced around his seat. He was sleeping, and he goes." And I mean, the tiredness just came out really hard. And I'm like, and she's like, "I'm going to fucking kill that. I'm going to kill." And I was like, "No, there's something wrong with him." And she's like, "No, that person's," and she uses the R word. And I said, "No, he really is." And he turned around and he kind of looked behind. And I swear to God, I'm making this up. He started licking the seat. He started licking the seat cushion and like chewing on it. And that's when I'm like, I just don't like flying anymore. I really don't.
That's
That'll
when
do
you
it.
get up. That's when you get up and you walk to the front of the plane and you go, "I don't care. That motherfucker ain't real." And you walk off the plane.
Listen, man,
Yeah.
it's
It's starting to become the Greyhound bus of the skies.
Mm.
That's what.
Don't you feel that it's gotten that much worse over the past 2 years?
Yeah. Listen, ever since you started hearing about 15-minute cities, they've been, and then I saw out of nowhere, they're like, the WEF's like, "Yeah, we're going to get rid of flying within 50 years. I'm like, "Oh, they don't want you flying." What they actually want you to do, Howie, and this is where we'll lose you, but what they actually want you to do is never leave your house, be on virtual reality, and just doom scroll forever. That's all they want you to do. They just want you to doom scroll and be in anxiety, and they don't want you to leave your house. That's it. Fat, dumb, and retarded, and they don't want you to leave.
The problem with that is, if that happens, what's going to happen with production in the country?
They don't think like
Deep
that.
shit.
They don't think like that. They'll worry about that later. Their whole thing is just
I'm not
isolating
disagreeing with you on the
themselves.
flying thing. I really do think they are making it harder to get less and less people to fly.
Yeah,
I agree with
they
you.
don't want people flying.
I agree with it.
You mentioned the WEF. Well, what about the WWF?
Oh,
the
this
WWE?
is a
This is
crazy
crazy.
story.
Vince McMahon is accused of sexual abuse, sex trafficking in a lawsuit. He took this woman, according to her, defecated on her head during a threesome, and used like all these toys and stuff, like injured her, and then was like using her to recruit wrestlers to WWE. It's kind of like a sex worker. This thing's crazy, dude. If you read the details of it, Vince McMahon's in hot water right
What's
now.
the symbol on
Well, you
that
know who
company?
else is in hot water? Is Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, he's in there. Yeah, he's the guy.
So
Yeah.
supposedly, like they're making this chick do something,
Ugh.
and one of them, like Brock Lesnar's, like, "Hey, make a video of you peeing."
What the fuck's wrong with these guys? I
Well,
mean,
I don't care if you don't like getting peed on. That doesn't matter. You can't make people do these things. You got
Yeah,
like
but-
I'm for filth by choice. Okay, get as weird as you want, as much as you want. with adults. I don't care. Do whatever you want. Get filthy, but everything else is just ridiculous. I mean,
I got a problem with shit. I got a problem with shitting on someone's head.
yeah, shitting, peeing
I
is
can't
totally
see the
different.
positive in that. What good
I
can
can't
come out
either.
of that?
I knew
see
a
the
chick
positive in
was.
it.
I knew a chick was into that. I'm like, it's just not my thing.
On to her or on the guys?
She liked to get pooped on.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
just not my thing, dude.
No.
It's, yeah.
No, but that's got. I didn't look. What's that stock? Is that in? Sam bought it. What's the symbol on that? That's the
Poop?
same.
WWE?
Yeah. What's
I
the
think it's
symbol?
just WWE.
I don't think so, man. No, they
I
got
don't know.
bought up by the MMA. It's the one Sam bought.
Let's see. Hold on.
Sam, what was that? The entertainment company you bought with the MMA?
I mean, it's got a stock price right now.
Oh, William Morris.
Oh, it's
William
TKO.
Morris.
It's TKO Group Holdings.
Now
It
it's
says.
TKO, but I didn't buy it when
TKO.
it was TKO.
Yeah, you look at it. I mean that definitely. The stock was at 95 until the stock was at 95 until the Vince McMahon shit story came out. Now it's down to 87. So
Wow,
yeah, he single-handedly. That's just bad press.
that's an expensive turd. My God.
Yeah, you just can't. In the boards just got to be like, dude. How dumb are you?
I mean, to be honest,
money here.
it fits the character of, the whole Attitude Era and stuff. Like, if you told me back then that was just a storyline that they had, that like he defecated on, one of the, what do they call them, vixens or whatever, I'll be like, oh, that's hilarious. There's apparently this clip of him in character going, "You're a rapist," to one of the wrestlers, and it's just going around Twitter, destroying Vince McMahon right now. I feel bad for the guy, frankly.
Well, you know what? And this is it. You ever notice how come all these 80-year-old white dudes, it's right when they turn 80, 81, like the owner of the Clippers, they just do something stupid.
Yeah.
Well,
Unless
here's
he
the
really
thing,
did the worst part of this, I just want to say I don't really feel bad for him. I was joking.
Ooh,
Nah.
for who?
Vince McMahon.
No, I don't either. Dude, the stories of this guy and how he treated wrestlers, fuck him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
I mean, these guys destroyed their bodies and he left them broke.
Yeah.
When he had a
the worst.
gazillion dollars, he's like, fuck him. I hope he gets taken down.
They had to take
Yeah.
care of each other. It's ridiculous.
But it's very interesting, Howie, is that what we've noticed with pro sports is the way they get rid of shitty owners is through political correctness.
Mm.
Okay, so now they have Dolan involved in sex trafficking.
Really?
Hey, if they get rid of Dolan,
No, totally. They want to get rid of Dolan because he just ran that. He's like it's so funny because it's the same thing with the Clippers. Like as soon as what's his face? What was the old Clippers name? Owner?
Sterling.
we saw him downtown.
Sterling, Donald Sterling.
Yeah.
As soon as he had a decent team, they're like, nope, we gotta get rid of this guy, dude. We gotta get rid of this guy. He's just a shit. Oh, he's a piece of shit. So they did that with the Clippers. They did that with the Suns. They did that as soon as a good brand, okay, is somewhat decent, they'll get rid of the shitty owner. Right, once the infrastructure for them to be good. Now, the only one that doesn't fit into that is the Washington Redskins. They got rid of him when he was shitty, when the team was shitty. But
James Dolan, if they get rid of him, the party that they'll have in New York City. Look, he's just a disgrace. I mean, what he did with Charles Oakley, and look, he's a bum.
Yes. Yeah.
His father
he's
left
a rich kid bum. He's a rich kid bum.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he is, a rich kid bum that with no respect at all to some of the greatest players that have played here. And if that happens to him, good riddance, man. Oh, but I will say this. We went to the Knicks Nuggets game last night, and the New York Knicks are becoming a product that's making a ton of money. We went in the gift shop before the game, packed. And I'm talking, these are $50 t-shirts, $450 jackets. and people are just buying them, man. The Knicks are an item right now.
You know what's very interesting
And we
is
beat
that
Denver by 40.
yeah, I know. I saw that. That was crazy. I need Denver to lose as much as possible so the Clippers can jump them. Because we're on fire right now, but the teams above us aren't losing enough for us to jump them. We're right there. We're 2 games out of the top seed in the West. But it's very interesting. So the Timberwolves are finally good. And it's so crazy to me that they're like the NBA and all these writers are still coming up with trades, excuse me, for Cat, Karl Anthony Towns. I'm like, why would they trade anybody when they're doing so well?
Yeah.
This is their
He had 8 threes in the
team.
first half against the Hornets.
Yeah, well, like, why would you do that? Why would you get rid of this guy? So you have season ticket holders bitching that the Timberwolves are good for half a season. They've already raised their season tickets by like 44%, and they got rid of. You used to be able, if you bought season tickets, you got 50% off concessions. They got rid of that too.
Greedy. Just greed.
Listen, the amount of money they make at these Knicks games. My buddy, I think he came up. He was drinking these 16-ounce what was he? Those ultras, and it was like $16 a beer. I got a Carnegie Deli sandwich with a Pepsi. It's $29. I mean, the money that they make, they're just making millions on a nightly basis.
Oh yeah. I mean, dude, let's get into this football game that's about to happen. We're gonna do Punch Drunk later on, but let's get into this football game, and like it's literally the Ravens versus the Chiefs, the NFL, and whoever has the Super Bowl this year. That is what the Ravens are up against. There's no way that, in my humble opinion, that the NFL and whoever owns the Super Bowl this year, who is airing it, is going to allow the Ravens to beat the Chiefs in a close game and not have Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl. There's just no way it's going to happen. There's no way. There is no way they're going to allow that to happen. Everybody makes more money if Taylor Swift is in that skybox.
That's I have not heard. That's an interesting philosophy, and I'm not saying it's wrong. Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
I mean, dude, I don't know if the game normally gets 50 million, but they talked about the Chiefs versus the Bills got 50 million viewers. I don't know what the average viewership is for an AFC Championship game, but that has to be high enough that they had to tell us about it.
It was the highest since what is that? One of the Super Bowls, maybe the last. What is Super? Hold on, I got to figure out what Super Bowl this is. It's the highest viewership since Super Bowl. Yeah, the 2022 Super Bowl. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I mean,
so last year's since last year's Super Bowl.
No, nothing's gonna touch the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is the biggest sporting event.
I can't do my Roman numerals.
Yeah, I can't either, dude. I mean, so this Super Bowl that will happen in 2 weeks, right? That is Super Bowl for 2023 Super Bowl, or is that considered the 2024 Super Bowl?
It's the Super Bowl for the 2023 season, I think is what they call it.
Okay. Yeah, there's no way they're going to allow Taylor Swift not to be there, because I was telling this to Johnny. I used to go like occasionally, like if the Super Bowl wasn't a big game or something like that, or it was a blowout, I was over it. I would run to I remember running to the Beverly Center one time on a Super Bowl day, and I was walking around the Beverly Center, and it was nothing but hot wives and girlfriends walking around because they didn't care about the Super Bowl. If you have Taylor Swift at that Super Bowl, those chicks aren't shopping. They're watching the game.
100%.
I mean, yeah, that'll be interesting. I mean, that's who's I think it's CBS this year that has it.
Let me see.
Pretty sure it is.
It's really crazy to me that CBS Sports hasn't blown up a network,
It
right?
is.
Like a sports network. Because they dominated every other part of television. Like CBS is Paramount, right? That's
It is.
Paramount.
Paramount
And you
Plus.
saw the news yesterday on Paramount. It came out. They're about to lay off a ton of people.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The
Yeah, I
Bob
didn't see
Beck
that.
came out yesterday. It was all over the CNBC. They're going to lay off a bunch of people. They're talking about selling Paramount and actually taking them off of the public market and making them private. Really bizarre things going on at Paramount. They're cutting costs all around.
Hey, guys, real quick, man. Listen, you're making all this money. What do you're gonna have money? You gotta live. You gotta live to enjoy spending the money. So the best way to do that is eating healthy and eating right. So real quick, I want to tell you about our friends at HelloFresh. Okay, with HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasoned recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. And that's why it's America's #1 meal kit. Whether your resolution is to save money or make money, eat better or stress less, HelloFresh is here to help you do all four of those, okay? So say hello to the most delicious year yet with fresh ingredients and chef-crafted recipes at a price you'll like, delivered right to your door. Each HelloFresh box is packed with farm fresh ingredients, and everything arrives pre-portioned right to your doorstep for less hassle and less wasted food. This time of year, everyone's looking to revamp their eating habits. Look to HelloFresh wholesome, health-forward options like over 30 calorie smart and protein smart recipes each week. So listen, I love it. I love HelloFresh. The food is great. You get filled. They know exactly what you need. They take good care of you. And I myself, especially, I was enjoying it during the pandemic. I was eating HelloFresh all the time. So I love it, and I know you will too. It's real fun and simple. So here's what I need you to do. Go to HelloFresh.com/cash free and use the code cash free for free breakfast for life. What?
Wow.
What? Did I just see that?
Amazing.
Breakfast for life? Okay. One breakfast item per box while subscription is active. That's free breakfast for life at HelloFresh.com/cash free and code cash free. Okay. We love it. Try it. America's #1 meal kit is HelloFresh. So I was having a conversation. It was so funny. Bobby Lee was backstage with me and Eddie Bravo. And it's like Eddie Bravo couldn't give two fucks about Hollywood. And Bobby Lee was talking about how he's got this TV show in the works. And we were just having a discussion about basically like Hollywood and all that stuff. And Eddie Bravo was like, nobody cares. Hollywood's dead. He goes, and Bobby's like, no, it's not actually. He goes, yeah, it's dead. He goes, and Bobby Lee literally goes, yeah, I mean, the ratings are really down, but it's not dead. I'm like, bro, it's just not what it was. And that's why all this, like everyone losing it on like award shows is hilarious. It's like whoever, it's like the Titanic giving out an award for who has the best dress on, why the ship fucking, goes
Do you think,
under.
Sam, I'm curious, do you think that total numbers are down, or just everybody has got their own thing to watch now, so that the numbers on
it's
big
spread
shows
out.
Well,
Right?
Do you think fewer people overall are watching TV, or
Well, I think fewer people. I think there's just so much content everywhere. There's
They're
just
all
so
watching-
much content.
They're all watching Netflix. Everyone in the world is watching Netflix. Netflix stock October 18th was $350. Today, it's $575. That stock goes up every single week. I don't know why, how, but they set records for streaming it's insane. They are the king of streaming. It's now a dictator. Netflix has a monopoly. So, and like Sam said at one point, it's got to help because, they come up with their own shows. They don't pay their actors or actresses anything.
It's crazy to me. It's just crazy to me because even yeah, I guess Netflix is killing it, but I mean, you constantly hear about them fucking, losing subscribers and all that shit. I don't know what's real. You have me question my own reality all the time.
They came out this week, 2 days ago, and man, they set every record in the world for new subscribers, keeping subscribers, they streaming everything.
It's so funny because like in the conspiracy community, they're always like, Netflix is failing. And then you come out like, they're doing the best they've ever done. It's like, what is real? What is not real?
I mean, if you just Google Netflix or Netflix stock, there's 100 different articles on, how much money that they're bringing in. Their top 10 performing communication services of 2024. I mean, they're right up there with Liberty, Fox, Meta, Google, Verizon.
What about all the layoffs at Google?
Number one is Netflix. They're number one over all of them. They are number one. Oh, yeah, Google just laid off a ton.
What do you think that's about?
As long as there's been companies, I mean, at some point, they just lay off a bunch of people. They're like, we need to trim this, and they'll trim for a few years. Stock price will go up, sales will go up, and then they start to hire again. It just goes in waves. They'll hire, they'll lay off, they'll hire, they'll lay off, and that's what they do.
Microsoft just laid off like 2,000 people too, and it's funny because they just bought Activision Blizzard, which is they make great games, very popular, they're successful. And Microsoft bought them because they were successful and then laid off almost 2,000 people from the company they bought. And they're like, no, we're going to do this. So really, they just bought the brand, which is, to me, it's hilarious.
Yeah, when one company buys out another, that company gets bought out.
It doesn't make it's crazy though, right? Because they bought it. It's not like they bought it like, when it was on the brink of failure, as I understand it. It was, they liked it. They wanted it. Yeah, and then they just lay off everybody. So funny.
Yeah. No, it's bizarre. And but I'm looking, the top company in the world, number one, as far as communications, is Netflix. Number two is Spotify. That's two. Number three is Verizon. And then you got NetEase, Meta, Google, Fox. I mean, it's changed. This whole communications, it's changed over the past 3 years like we've never seen it. This whole streaming shit is insane. It really is.
Why?
I'll tell you why. Because how many times over in your lifetime where you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go get some popcorn and watch the playoff football game, and all of a sudden you can't get the playoff football game unless you are a Amazon subscriber or whatever it was.
That was crazy.
A lot of people missed that game, Sam.
That was crazy to me. That is the NFL fucking around and trying to find out. I really do believe that. I think they think that we'll watch no matter what, and maybe we will, but I don't know, man. I think this is a slippery slope to seeing your first Super Bowl on like a pay-per-view or an app.
Can you imagine?
I mean, they have 50 million people watch.
No, I don't think that game did 50 mil. I think that game did 23.
Yeah,
and I'm sure if you're at Peacock, that's an insanely great number.
Yeah.
So whatever they paid, which I think was 150 mil for that game, which is an insane number, was well worth it because Peacock's never going to get anything like that in a long time. I don't think, again, whether it's good or bad or whatever, I don't think we're ever going to have a major event culturally that is for everybody outside the Super Bowl. if the Super Bowl goes on an app, that might lose that thing too. I mean, there's just young kids who don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, sports isn't what it used the big three, baseball, football, basketball. It's not what it used to be with young kids. Young kids are playing video games and who the hell knows? It's not what it used to be. You don't have the numbers of kids playing high school sports that you used to.
Especially not football. With parents
Especially
so
not
afraid
football,
of brain
which
damage.
is insane to me because everyone's getting their kids into MMA. It's just like, what are we doing
Yeah,
here?
it's so stupid.
It's like it really is a crazy ass conspiracy to like make people hate football, and it's just like, dude, nobody's trying to ban boxing. No one, it's just crazy to me.
And it's
My
just
old high school has my old
go
high
ahead,
school
go ahead.
has girls wrestling now.
Yeah. My high
Oh,
school finally got bowling. I just found out. We never had bowling until now. So
Well,
finally.
congratulations, John.
Yeah, thank you.
That's
Thank
the
you.
real shit.
It's
right
also
there.
what it's going to do is it's going to do what it did to boxing, which is further increase the racial disparity because it's just going to be people pursuing football that kind of have to pursue it to get out. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Or feel that way.
Bowling? Bowling's
Yeah.
gonna go black?
No, football.
Oh,
We're taking over bowling.
With these inner city, I mean, with these suburban moms, like they're never letting white kids are done in football, dude. It's over for white kids. Wait until like 10 years from now. There won't be any white people. The only white people will be on the coaching.
I think what you're gonna see is most of those kids that would be in football are going to go to soccer.
Which is you still hurt your brain.
Not down south. That'll never change. Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Georgia, Florida.
Texas.
No, man. When
We'll see.
when your mom is 6', 200, and your dad's 6'4", 240, and you're a white kid, you're on the offensive line at age 8.
We'll see.
And that's just the way it is.
We'll see, bro. We'll see.
It's not going to change. It won't change down south. Not down south. That's a religion down there, and that'll never change.
Yeah, well, they'll still watch it. But one last story I wanted to hit too. Amazon, because we've kind of followed this. Amazon is no longer allowing police to solicit Ring doorbell video. That had become really controversial. That Ring was allowing it, had connections with police departments and were pretty much giving up footage easily. So Amazon is no longer allowing that.
I'm against that. I'm not for. I'm against that. I don't have a problem with them using footage if a crime occurred. I am totally against them being able to go and be like, oh yeah, we're going to use your camera whenever we want. That I'm totally against that. They're already doing it. I'm just against them saying we can do that out loud to you, right? I'm sorry. I'm against it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for the past 2-3 decades, all these security companies like Sonatrol and all those, if you have cameras around your house and someone's trying to break in, it automatically goes to the police department and they show up. So what's the difference?
Well, a lot of these Ring cameras don't have, that feature, and a lot of people don't want it going to the police. But they just call the police. But now the thing that changes now is that if they want it and the person doesn't want to give it to them, they have to get a warrant. But they have an app set up. So I think it's called like Neighbors or something where they can request footage, and if something like catching a local predator or whatever, people are gonna be happy to give it up. It's just the things that, are invasions of privacy or drug dealers, frankly, that aren't going to want to give it up. So, but I think that's a good move by Amazon just for the public relations of it, if nothing else.
I got you. All right.
Anything else you're looking at, Howie?
Dude. It's crazy.
I mean, if you ever want to know what happened to why the Nasdaq's up, just look at Amazon. Amazon. Here's the thing: the Nasdaq has had a huge 3 months, and it's only 6 or 7 stocks pushing the whole thing. It's Amazon. It's Meta reaching all-time highs every day. Meta was at 148 last year. It's at 400. Google, Microsoft, Apple. Apple's one we put in the portfolio January 3rd. I think it was at 180. Today it's at 192. So, it's just large cap tech. So I do think we will have a pull off. The one thing I do like just about more than anything right now, and this is crazy. Sam will like this, but you can buy silver SLV, the iShares Silver Trust. It's trading at $20.82, and that looks like it could bust up to 23, 24 bucks.
Hmm.
I think silver could be the next thing to bust up. I like it. I like it better than gold.
Wow.
Yeah, I was having a conversation with somebody today about that. They're like, buy silver. It's easier to use if all shit hits the fan. But I think gold is important to have. But I do
Yeah.
think a lot of silver is important too.
You got to have a little, I mean, I always say 5% gold. You got GLD, whatever. But SLV right now, just technically, it looks like it's going to go higher. That's what
Right
I
on.
like. I like SLV.
All right. Right on. Sam, you want to take us over to Patreon?
Guys, we're going to Patreon with a bangers bang and a wangers wang.